Good evening on a beautiful night for baseball. It is time for Decorah Viking baseball once again on AM 1240 KDC and at kdcradio.com. Tonight we will bring you a baseball-softball broadcast doubleheader tonight as we will bring you Game 1 of Decorah and Waterloo East in baseball. Then we will bring you Northeast Iowa Conference softball as Decorah takes on Waverly Shellrock. Waterloo East comes in with a 2-12 record. Decorah comes in with a 6-6 record. Vikings split a doubleheader at Owine last night. Waterloo East has had an 0-4 week. They lost 2 at Marshalltown last night after losing 2 in Mississippi Valley Conference play against Dubuque Senior on Monday night. Their last win was against Waterloo West last Thursday night. The only other team they have beaten was Turkey Valley, and that occurred at the New Hampton tournament on May the 30th. This will be the Waterloo East lineup. John Magnuson will be the shortstop. Jake Kinnitz in center field. Joel Rosauer at the DH for the right fielder, Jake Scheel. Cole Van Weg at first. Landon Clemenson in left field. The catcher is Josh Renegold. Hitting seventh is the third baseman Dallas Jones. Hitting eighth, the second baseman Nate Card. And batting ninth, the pitcher Chase Pryor. And that lineup will face Decorah right-hander Trevor Phillips. Phillips' last start was a no decision last Friday night in a game Decorah ended up winning against Cresco. Phillips, the right-hander, against the right-hander John Magnuson. He'll swing at the first one, fly one into deep center field. Jake Hovden is near the fence, and that one hits on the K, but Hovden gets to the ball quickly, and Magnuson is held to a single. So Magnuson starts the game in style with a long single for Waterloo East. Runner at first, nobody out, and the batter will be Jake Kinnitz. Waterloo East, a 2-12 baseball team. Decorah, a 6-6 team. The defense for Decorah, Cole Minks in left, Jake Hovden in center, and Austin Bohr in right. Brett LaRue at third, Colin Nimrod at short. Phillips comes set, and bunting it is Kinnitz, but he bunts foul up the third base side. No balls and one strike. Andy Sinkink is at second in this game, and Jake Marlowe is at first. Caleb Qualley behind the plate. And on the hill is junior right-hander Trevor Phillips. No balls and one strike, the count on Jake Kinnitz. Kinnitz squaring to bunt already. Phillips will step off and send Magnuson back standing to the bag. Marlowe holds him on over there. A mostly sunny sky tonight. Temperatures in the 80s. The 0-1 delivery sails high. 1 ball, 1 strike. Not as hot as it was yesterday, but plenty comfortable for summertime baseball. In fact, yesterday was the warmest day in nearly 21 months in Decorah. A lead at first base by Magnuson. Squaring to bunt already is Kinnitz. Phillips comes to the pause. Runner takes off. A bunt up the first base side. Fielded on 2 hops by Phillips. He'll throw to first base and sinking covering. And the sacrifice is complete, 1-4. So Waterloo East gets a runner into scoring position with 1 down, and Joel Rosauer, the designated hitter, will be the batter. No score, just underway. Rosauer, the first left-hand hitter to face the right-hander Phillips.
Next, Joel Rosauer.
Phillips comes to the pause, looks back at second, takes a second look at second, and steps off and fakes a whirl back there. Rosauer back into the left-hand side of the box. Phillips takes a long look at second, and the pitch to Rosauer is fisted foul. Third base side and out of play. No balls, 1 strike, the count on the Waterloo East designated hitter. Phillips in for the sign from Qualley. And stepping off the rubber is Phillips. Oh, 1 delivery, hit foul, third base side, and out of play. It's no balls and 2 strikes. Phillips, a 1-1 record on the season. He has a 6.56 ERA. But opponents only hitting 190 against him. Consistency getting the ball across the plate has been an issue for Phillips as the curveball goes low. 1 ball, 2 strikes in 16 innings. He has walked 11 and struck out 16. Given up 16 hits and 15 earned runs. His one win was against Lansing Key on opening night. 1-2 delivery, a fastball up. And now it's 2 balls, 2 strikes on Joel Rosauer. Phillips, Sinkink, and LaRue with wins for Decorah. Colin Nimrod with 3 wins on the hill. Swinging a foul. Third base side out of play. So it's still 2 balls and 2 strikes on Joel Rosauer. Magnuson off of second base. Phillips in for the sign from Qualley. The pause by Phillips, a look back at second, and the 2-2 is a ground ball to the right side, fielded on 3 hops by Sinkink. A low throw to first base, but some fancy footwork by Jake Marlowe prevents an error. The out recorded with Magnuson moving up to third. 2 down, runner at third for Cole Van Weg. No score, top half of the first inning. We're just underway here at Olenczak Field in Decorah. Phillips out of the stretch. Backdoor curveball taken on the outside edge for a strike, and it's 0-1. Now Phillips will go out of the windup with the runner at third. And 2 down. Fastball low and in. It is 1 ball and 1 strike to count. Phillips gets the sign from Qualley. The 1-1 delivery, a ground ball to the right side. Past Marlowe and into right field for a base hit. A 2-out RBI single for Van Weg to score Magnuson. And Waterloo East draws first blood. Van Weg with the RBI single. Trojans go up 1-0. The batter is Landon Clemenson. Right-hand hitter against the right-hander Phillips. He'll bat with 2 down and a runner at first. Trojans take an early lead in this one as a curveball slips out of the hands of Phillips and goes well high for 1 ball, no strikes. Trevor comes set. A lead at first by Van Weg and a pop-up right side. Sinkink out, Bohr in. Sinkink from his second base position calls and catches. And that's that for the first inning. But the Trojans able to draw first blood. 1 run, 2 hits, no errors, and 1 runner left. We head to the bottom half of the first inning. It is Waterloo East 1 and Decorah coming to bat. And Decorah will bat this way. Leading off at shortstop, Colin Nimrod. Batting second in center field, Jake Hovden. Hitting third at third base, Brett LaRue. Batting fourth at first base, Jake Marlowe. Hitting fifth in right field, Austin Bohr. Hitting sixth, the designated hitter, Gabe Varney. Varney will bat for the left fielder, Cole Minks. Hitting seventh, the catcher, Caleb Qualley. Hitting eighth, the pitcher, Trevor Phillips. And batting ninth, Andy Sinkink at second base. Chase Pryor to the hill for Waterloo East. Pryor, a junior right-hander, will have this defense behind him. Landon Clemenson in left, Jake Kinnitz in center, and Jake Shear in right. Dallas Jones at third, John Magnuson at short, Nate Card at second, Cole Van Weg at first. John Renegold will be behind the plate, and Chase Pryor will be on the hill. Vikings offense scored 11 runs on 14 hits in Game 1, the victory last night. Offense wasn't as good, but effective enough to get a victory in Game number 2. That's one the Vikings kind of let slip away. All started with a routine play that wasn't made to start the bottom of the 7th inning, and that opened the door for a 3-run Husky rally and the ability for the Huskies to get the split last night. And the Vikes will try to get back on the winning track here tonight against Waterloo West, or Waterloo East, I should say. They'll play West to close out the season right around the 12th of July. Colin Nimrod will lead things off here in the bottom of the first inning for Decorah. Nimrod, a .417 hitter, 6 doubles, 1 triple, and 8 RBI on the season for Nimrod. Right-hander against right-hander matchup. Jones plays in on the grass at third. First one from Pryor goes up. It's 1 ball, no strikes. Decorah does play most of the metro area schools. They play East, West, Cedar Falls, and Columbus. The 1-0 delivery, that one up again, so it's 2 balls, no strikes now on Colin Nimrod. Cedar Falls was added to the schedule a couple of years ago. 2 balls, no strikes to count, and the pitch high. It's 3 balls, no strikes on Nimrod. Colin with a .563 on-base percentage, taps on the squad, just what you want out of your leadoff man. 3 balls, no strikes. Pryor kicks and deals. And the 3-0 delivery, Nimrod takes all the way and takes low for ball 4. So Nimrod at first and nobody out for Jake Hovden. 1-0 Waterloo East here in the bottom of the first inning. Hovden at a .529 clip with 3 doubles. No triples, no home runs, 8 RBI. He had 2 RBI in the doubleheader in Owine last night. Nimrod with a decent lead at first base. Hovden squaring to bunt. First pitch taken inside. 1 ball, no strikes. So 5 straight out of the zone from the right arm of Chase Pryor to start the game. 1-0 East here in the bottom of the first inning. Nimrod with a good lead at first base. He'll stay put. And the pitch inside again. It's 2 balls, no strikes. I'm assuming another take sign here from Coach O, because at this point you just want to see if Pryor can actually throw a strike. 2-0 delivery. That one Jake has to duck his way out of, and it's 3 balls, no strikes now. So 7 straight out of the zone from Chase Pryor to start the game. 3 balls, no strikes. And the pitch, there's a strike inside edge. We proceed at 3-1. Jones still playing in on the grass at third. Van Weg holding the runner on at first. The pause by Pryor. Nimrod takes off. The 3-1 is a strike. Throw down to second base. Collin in with a head-first slide. 3 balls and 2 strikes. The count now on Jake Hovden. He'll bat with a runner in scoring position and less than 2 outs. Collin steals his second base of the season. Nimrod away from second. Pryor comes set. A look back at second. And he'll bring the 3-2 to the plate. Ground ball to the left side. Backhand stop made by Magnuson. And he will do nothing with the ball. He didn't really have a play on Hovden there, as Jake will get an infield single, first and second, nobody out here in the first inning. And Brett LaRue will be the batter. East leading 1-0.
In the battery box, Brett LaRue.
LaRue off to a .500 start, 10 for 20. He does have 4 RBI. Van Weg in on the grass at third, or at first. Back at third is Jones. First pitch to LaRue is up from Pryor. It's 1 ball, no strikes. (1-0) Sails outside. It is 2 balls, no strikes from LaRue. Shortstop Magnuson shading over towards second base. Good gap on the left side of the infield. The 2-0 delivery is a strike to LaRue, and it's 2 balls and 1 strike now to Brett. Brett threw well in game 2 of the doubleheader last night in Owine. Unfortunately, did not get a decision. 2 balls, 1 strike to count. LaRue squares to bunt, bunts it straight up in the air. After it is the catcher, Renegold, in foul territory, but he can't get there. So it's 2 balls and 2 strikes now on LaRue. Nimrod at second and Hovden at first in a 1-0 East lead here in the top of the first inning. First of a doubleheader here tonight. East playing their 5th game this week already. Decorah playing its 3rd. 2-2 delivery, swung on, hammered towards center field. After it is the center fielder, Kenneth, who makes a lunging grab. He overran it a bit and lunged back and caught it in medium depth center field. Nimrod hustled back to second. 1 down, runners at first and second for Jake Marlowe. 1-0 East here in the first. Righty-righty matchup. Marlowe at .371. No extra base hits and 6 RBI. He had 4 RBI last night in the doubleheader down at 0-1. The first pitch to Marlowe is up. 1 ball, no strikes. 3 of his 4 RBI came with 2 outs. That's something, especially in Game 1, that the Vikes did a way better job of last night, getting that timely hit. The 1-0 delivery outside for 2 balls and no strikes to count. 8 of the 11 runs in game number 1 came with 2 outs. And granted, they got some help from some Husky defense that was pretty porous, but you're putting the ball in play and putting pressure on the defense. 2-0, that hits Marlowe. Nicked the belly on the way in on the off-speed pitch, and now the bases are loaded. And Austin Bohr, who had a good night swinging it last night, will stand in. Had 2 hits last night, and some of his outs were even hard-hit balls. Infield up at all 4 spots for East, and the pitch to Austin Bohr is a breaking ball outside. 1 ball, no strikes. 4 for 24 on the season, a double and 2 RBI. And there's a balk that is called as Nimrod will score. Hovden moves to third and Marlowe moves to second. So that'll tie the game at 1-1. Pryor came set together on the rubber, broke his hands and came set again, and Scott Happel, the home plate umpire, called that. 1 ball, no strikes to count on Bohr. Pryor working out of the windup, and the 1-0 delivery is up again, so it's 2 balls and no strikes now. So an infield hit, a walk, and a hit by a pitch, as well as a balk, has tied the game here in the bottom of the first inning. 2 balls, no strikes, and the pitch to Bohr is low for 3 balls and no strikes now. So Pryor having a tough time finding the strike zone. It's already his 22nd pitch, and only 4 have been strikes. The pitch, curveball, caught the corner barely on the outside edge, so it's 3-1 now on Bohr. Hovden the runner at third, and Marlowe the runner at second. Infield back up the middle, up at the corners. 3-1 delivery, low and outside for ball 4. Second walk of the inning for Pryor. Bases loaded once again for Gabe Varney. 1-1 game here in the bottom of the first inning.
Stepping up, Gabe Varney.
Varney off to a 3:06 start. 2 doubles, no triples, no home runs, and 5 RBIs. Left-hand hitter against the right-hander Pryor. Now the infield up at all 4 spots. And the first pitch to Varney is low and inside. 1 ball, no strikes. And now Waterloo West or East coached out of the first base dugout to have a little chat with Pryor. Pryor 24 pitches, 20 balls to this point. Coach Olenczak taking the time to talk to runners and hitters in the third base box. East coach back to the first base dugout, and away we go. 1 ball, no strikes to count on Varney. Interesting that East, with second and third, brought its middle infield back. But now with the bases loaded and having a force out at any base, you bring your infield up at all 4 spots. You would think that at least up the middle they would perhaps play for 2 because the double play would get you out of the inning. 1-0 to Varney, well high for 2 balls, no strikes. The only run of the inning has scored on a balk. 1-1 the score. We're in the bottom of the first inning. LaRue lined out to center for the only out of the frame. Hubden third, Marlowe second, Bohr first. 2-0 delivery outside corner taken for a strike. It's now 2-1 on Varney. Pryor gets the sign from Morenagold. The pitch missed outside on the fastball, and it's now 3 balls and 1 strike. Varney, the 6th batter of the inning. Pryor has gone at least 3 balls on 5 of those batters. 3-1 delivery taken for a strike, and it's 3-2 now. Thinking Varney had the take sign in that situation because no reaction out of Coach O, and 3 balls, 2 strikes, and the pitch up for ball 4. So Varney gets an RBI the easy way with the bases loaded walk. Hubden scores, Marlowe to third, Bohr to second, 2-1 Decorah. Caleb Qualley will look to keep it going.
Brings up Caleb Qualley.
Right-hander against right-hander. Qualley off to a 270 start. He has 8 RBI on the season. The pitch high, 1 ball, no strikes. He had 2 RBI last night in game 1 of the doubleheader. Nimrod, Hubden, and Qualley all tied for the team lead in RBI, coming in with 8. 1-0 low, caroms away from the catcher, Morenagold, but not enough to warrant runner advancement. 2 balls and no strikes to count. Infield still up at all 4 spots for East. Pryor still working out of the windup. 2-0 to Caleb is a fastball up for 3 balls and no strikes. 3 walks, 1 hit batter, and 1 infield single plus a balk have scored the 2 runs. There's only 1 out. 1 ball went to the outfield, and that's been the only out of the inning. 3-0 to Qualley, inside ball 4. Qualley gets his 9th RBI of the season to take the team lead in that category. The bases loaded, 4-pitch walk to Qualley makes it 3-1. And a courtesy runner coming in for Decorah. And that will be Cam Korsnes for Caleb Qualley.
Cam Korsnes at the plate.
Korsnes first, Varney second, Bohr third, and Trevor Phillips will look to help his own cause at the plate. Infield still up at all 4 spots for Waterloo East, trailing 3-1. And the first pitch to Phillips goes low. It's 1 ball, no strikes. Still nobody up in the bullpen for Waterloo East. Phillips 2 for 11 on the season. Runners lead from their respective bases. Pryor delivers in the 1-0 well high for 2 balls, no strikes. Still only 1 out here in the first. A 3-1 advantage for Decorah. (2-0) fastball up, 3 balls, no strikes with Andy Sinkink on deck. Again, in the first 8 batters, 1 ball has left the infield. That's been the only out of the inning. Pryor just struggling to find home plate right now. 3-0, inside ball 4, 3rd consecutive bases loaded walk. as Phillips draws the base on balls, 4th consecutive walk, 5th total walk of the inning. And the batter will be Andy Sinkink. 4-1 Decorah. And Sinkink steps into the right-hand batter's box. Andy 3 for 17 with an RBI as Pryor finds a strike. It's 0-1. Sinkink, the 9th batter of the inning. 4-1-0 for Decorah. 1-2-0 for Waterloo East. And the pitch well high back to the screen. Down the line from third comes Barney. He will score to make it 5-1. Korsnes to third. Phillips to second on the play. So 3 bases loaded walks, a wild pitch, and a balk have scored the 5 runs now. It's 1-1 on Sinkink. Now with runners at second and third, they'll move the middle infield back, which it's an interesting alignment there as that one fouled. And it's 1 ball, 2 strikes. Sinkink threw the bat away thinking he got hit with the ball, but home plate umpire Scott Hoppel ruled that it was a foul ball, and I think that was the correct call. 1 ball, 2 strikes as Pryor ahead for the first time tonight. 1-2 sails high for 2 balls, 2 strikes now. 5-1 Decorah with only 1 hit here in the bottom of the first inning. But good to see Elliott Christian, and got up early and did some baking this morning. Or went to Quillen's and picked up some cookies, whichever you prefer. 2-2 delivery, swung on a ground ball left side. Scoring on the play is Korsnes as they'll throw across the diamond to retire Sinkink. Moving up to third is Phillips, and the throw is wild and up the third base line. Phillips will score on the throwing error by the first baseman Van Wig, and now it's a 7-1 lead for Decorah. So Sinkink will get an RBI ground out to allow Korsnes to score, and Phillips will score on the throwing error by first baseman Cole Van Wig. And Colin Nimrod, who started the fun by drawing a 4-pitch walk earlier this frame, will be the batter. 7-1 Decorah here in the bottom of the first inning. First pitch low from Colin Nimrod, 1 ball, no strikes. So Colin has seen 5 pitches and none of them in the zone to this point. 1 ball, no strikes. Pryor ready, 1-0. Pitch outside for 2 balls, no strikes now on Colin Nimrod. Vikes will be off tomorrow night and host walk-on Friday. The pitch, a strike, it's 2-1. Sometimes the scheduling gods help you out. If schedule and forecast mixes tomorrow, nobody would be playing anyway. 2 balls, 1 strike, and the pitch. Nimrod hits one towards short. Picked up there by Magnuson. Now he boots it, and Nimrod will reach. Colin on for the second time this inning. A hard hit ground ball, and he'll reach on the E6. And Jake Hovden will become the 11th batter of the frame. Hovden has the only hit, an infield single, earlier on this frame. 7-1 Decorah. We're in the bottom of the first inning. First pitch to Hovden is on the inside edge for a strike, 0-1. The pause by Pryor. And the pitch, outside corner for a strike, and it's 0-2 on Hovden. Oh, 0-2 with 2 down. Nimrod takes off on 0-2, pitch taken high, throw down to second base, and Nimrod in with the head first slide. It's 1-2 now on Hovden. Nimrod came into tonight with 2 stolen bases on the season. He equals that total here in the first inning. 1-2 the count on Jake Hovden. Pryor with the pause, and the 1-2 delivery is outside to Jake, and it's 2 balls, 2 strikes now. Long first inning. As we're approaching hearing a siren in a couple of minutes. Time asked for by Hovden, granted by the home plate umpire Scott Hoppel. And when we hear it in a couple of minutes, it won't be triggered mistakenly like it was about 10 o'clock this morning. Kind of unusual to hear that at 10 o'clock in the morning on a bright sunny day, but those things happen as well. 2-2 delivery swung on, roped out in the left center field. That will be a base hit. Nimrod rounding third, coming to the plate. The throw to the plate is way late. As the throw goes home, Hovden moves to second. It's 8-1 Decorah. So Jake Hovden with his 9th RBI of the season as he brings Nimrod home on the 2-out RBI single. And Brett LaRue will look to keep it going for Decorah.
Brett LaRue.
LaRue lined out to center earlier this frame. Pryor delivers, and the pitch to LaRue. Fastball inside edge for a strike. 0-1. Hovden with a good lead out at second base. Pryor comes set, looks back towards second. He'll come to the plate with the 0-1 to LaRue, which sails high for 1 ball, 1 strike. Said siren just happening now. Pitch inside, 2 balls and 1 strike, and that reminds us to tell you that you are listening to AM 1240 KDEC Decorah and KDECradio.com. Darren Swenson from Olensack Field. Decorah leading Waterloo East 8-1 in the bottom of the first inning. 2-1 delivery well outside for 3 balls, 1 strike now on LaRue. LaRue, the 12th batter of this frame. The runs have scored on a balk, a wild pitch, an error, an RBI ground out, 3 bases loaded walks, and an RBI single by Hovden. Ground ball left side and through for a base hit. Hovden rounding third, coming to the plate. The throw to the plate will be late. As the throw goes home, LaRue moves to second. It's 9-1 Decorah. So LaRue with the RBI single to score Hovden. And he'll move to second on the
Next, Jake Marlowe.
throw home, as Jake Marlowe will become the 13th batter of the inning. LaRue now with 5 RBI on the season. The pause and the pitch to Marlowe is outside, 1 ball, no strikes. And LaRue's had that total in now just 7 games. LaRue will lead at second. Pryor comes set. 1-0 delivery to Marlowe. Misses inside for 2 balls and no strikes now. 9 runs on 3 hits. But 3 of the runs have scored with 2 out. The pitch to Marlowe. Outside edge taken for a strike. It's 2-1 now. The pause by Pryor, a look back at second, and the 2-1 goes low. Nice stop by Renigold behind the plate. And it's 3-1 now on Marlowe. Prior to the stretch, 3-1, well high, ball 4. The 6th walk of the inning. And part of the reason you may wonder
Brings up Austin Bohr.
why no one is up in the bullpen. The East has played 4 games already this week. Be hard to say how many arms they got left as Bohr looks at a strike, 0-1. He walked and scored earlier this frame. Marlowe had previously been hit by a pitch and scored this frame. Curveball swung on and missed down and in, and it snowballs 2 strikes to Austin Bohr. Oh-2, grounded foul past Coach O in the third base box, so count remains no balls and 2 strikes. We're still in the first inning. The pitch swung on, smacked into left field, and a base hit. Rounding third, coming to the plate is Brett LaRue. The throw to the plate will be cut off. Another 2-out RBI single for Decorah. Austin Bohr with the single to left to score LaRue to make it a 10-1 ball game. And Gabe Varney will bat now. Varney drew a bases loaded walk and scored earlier this frame. Vikes up 10-1 here in the bottom half of the first inning. The pause and the pitch to Varney. He looks at a strike, 0-1. This is the 71st pitch of the inning already for Pryor. 0-1 delivery, smacked into center field. That one will land for a base hit. Marlowe coming to the plate. The relay throw to the plate will be late. Another 2-out RBI single for Decorah as Varney gets his second RBI of the frame. It's now 11-1 Decorah. And Caleb Qualley
at the plate, Caleb Qualley
will be the 16th batter of the inning. Bohr will be at second and Varney will be at first. 11 runs now on 5 hits for Decorah. Pitch goes low to Caleb Qualley. 1 ball, no strikes. Sinkink was the second out of the inning. The next 6 men have all reached. Qualley takes the next one low. Two balls, no strikes. 75th pitch of the inning already for Pryor. He may need ice after this frame. Curveball goes low. 3 balls, no strikes. But again, East is playing their 5th game in 3 days, so you wonder how many arms they got left. They've given up double-digit runs now in 5 straight games. 3 balls, no strikes on Qualley. Pitch inside for ball 4. So Qualley draws his second walk of the inning, and Trevor Phillips will bat for the second time in this frame.
Korsness running at first.
And Cam Korsness will get Qualley's courtesy at first. 11-1 Decorah. Phillips will be the batter. He drew a bases loaded walk and scored himself in the first inning. Pryor delivers, pitch low and outside. Renegold with a nice stop behind the plate, moving to his right. It is 1 ball, no strikes. Still in the first inning, we got a baseball-softball broadcast doubleheader. This is the first game of the baseball doubleheader. 1-0 in there for a strike to Phillips, and it's 1 ball, 1 strike. Bohr third, Varney second, and Korsness for Qualley at first. 1-1 delivery, ground ball to the third base side. Fielded there by Jones. He'll throw to first base, and the throw is wild. Bohr scores, Varney scores, Korsness goes to third. 2 more runs in for Decorah. It's 13-1. A throwing error will send Korsness to third, and it scores Bohr and Varney. 13 runs in the first inning for Decorah. And Andy Sinkink, who had an RBI ground out earlier this frame, will be the batter. Phillips the runner at first, Korsness the runner at third. And the pitch inside, 1 ball, no strikes, no courtesy runner for Phillips. Now there will be, and it will be Brennan Hogan.
Running at first base, Brennan Hogan.
Hogan will be the runner at first for Phillips. And after this long inning, he might need to play catch with somebody just to make sure his arm is warm. When he goes back in the top of the second. Next pitch well high from Chase Pryor. It is 2 balls and no strikes. Runners at the corner, still 2 down. Decorah has scored 7 of their 13 runs now with 2 outs. Long pause by Chase Pryor, and the next pitch inside to Sinkink, and it's 3 balls, no strikes now. Pryor ready, 3-0. In there for a strike, it's now 3-1. Hogan off of first, Korsness away from third. 3-1 to Sinkink, swung on and missed. Pretty good breaking ball that time from Pryor. Has 3 balls and 2 strikes. Hogan will be moving from first base, 3-2 with 2 down. Hogan takes off, pitch outside corner, strike 3 called. So in the inning, Decorah scores 13 runs on 5 hits, helped out by 3 Waterloo East errors and 2 runners left. We head to the top of the second inning. It is Decorah leading 13-1. 13-1 Decorah as we go to the second inning.
Top of the second inning for East Waterloo.
6,
Reganold.
7, and 8, Josh Reganold, the catcher. Dallas Jones, the third baseman, and Nate Card, the second baseman, will face Trevor Phillips as Reganold swings and fouls the first pitch away. No balls and 1 strike. Phillips in a good spot here. Obviously, his offense has helped him out a ton. Just throw strikes and let your defense help you out. Curveball outside edge for a strike, and it's 0-2 now. A Cole Van Weg RBI single in the first inning. Gave Waterloo East a 1-0 lead, but the Vikes rallied back with 13 in the bottom of the first. Swing and a miss at a curveball. Qualley digs it out and throws down to Marlowe at first base. And Phillips gets his first strikeout, 1 down here in the second inning.
Number 7 hitter, Dallas Jones.
1 down, nobody on for Dallas Jones. 13-1 Decorah. As we start the second inning, curveball outside for 1 ball, no strikes. Fastball swung on and missed by the third baseman Jones. 1 ball, 1 strike to count. Only 6 of the 13 runs as the next pitch goes high were earned. 7 of the 13 came with 2 outs for Decorah. Good to see him putting the ball in play with 2 outs. Pitch low from Phillips. It's now 3-1. We'll double check the pitch total for Pryor in that frame. As the pitch well high for ball 4, Phillips walks his first man. A 1-out walk to Jones will send Nate Card to the plate. 1 on, 1 out, second inning. 13-1, Decorah with the lead. Card, the right-hand hitting second baseman, stands in. Pitch swung on, smacked down the left field line, and it will be a foul ball and a pretty well hit ball off the bat of Card. No balls and 1 strike. The final pitch total for Pryor in that first inning, 80 pitches in 1 frame. As we mentioned, East playing their 5th game of the week, so you wonder how many arms they've got left. Card swings and fouls the pitch back, so it's no balls and 2 strikes. No 0-2, curveball just missed. And it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. The pause and the pitch, curveball, strike 3 called. Phillips gets his 2nd strikeout of the inning. By the way, for the record, Decorah's top run total for the season was against Owine last night with 11. They ended up getting 13 in the first inning tonight. Chase Pryor, who's got to be a tired young man, who was the pitcher for Waterloo East, looks at a strike outside edge. No balls, 1 strike to count. Phillips comes set, 0-1 delivery, another curve, another taken strike, and it's now no balls and 2 strikes. 0-2 the count. The 0-2 delivery, and they're going to rule that one a balk as Phillips quick pitch to Jones. So up to second base goes Jones. A pause by Phillips, 2 looks back at second, and the pitch swung on and missed by Pryor, and that's that for the 2nd inning. A walk mixed in between Phillips striking out the side in the frame. So a walk and a man left. We head to the bottom half of the 2nd inning. Decorah leading 13-1. Pryor done after 1 inning of work, giving up 5 hits, 13 runs, 6 of them earned. He walked 7, he hit 1, and he struck out 1. Landon Clemenson will move from left field to pitcher, and Matthew Snook into the game to play left field to bat in Pryor's spot in the order. We go to the bottom of the 2nd inning. It is a 13-1 lead for Decorah. 13 runs on 5 hits. Helped out by a lot of free bases in that bottom of the 1st inning. 7 walks, 1 hit batter, 3 errors as well for Waterloo East. Colin Nimrod will start things here in the 2nd inning. He's batted twice already. He walked and scored in the 1st. He reached on an error and scored in the 1st inning as well. He's already stolen 2 bases. 13-1 Decorah as Clemenson throws the first one high to Nimrod, who came in with a .590 on-base percentage. 1 ball, no strikes. Clemenson ready. The right-hander throws a curveball that catches the outside corner for a strike. And it is 1 ball and 1 strike on Nimrod. 1-1 delivery. Curveball low. 2 balls and 1 strike. Hovden and LaRue to follow. Two-one. High. 3 balls, 1 strike now. Three and 1 the count. Curveball swung on and missed down and in. And it is 3 balls, 2 strikes now on Colin Nimrod with Hovden and LaRue to follow. 3-2 the count. 3-2 delivery, low for ball 4. Collin reaches for the third time in 2 frames. Runner at first and nobody out, and Jake Hovden will be the batter. Singled and scored in the first, single knocked in a run and scored also in the first. 13-5-0 for Decorah, 1-2-3 for Waterloo East. Hovden squares to bunt, pulls it back and looks at a strike, nothing in 1. Nimrod a lead at first base, held on there by Van Weg. 0-1 delivery to Hovden is sprayed foul. Third base side and into the parking lot adjacent to Olensack Field. It is no balls, 2 strikes on Jake Hovden. John Reganold, the catcher, getting his mask back on. Reason for the momentary delay. Clemenson comes set 0-2 to Hovden. He takes that one up for 1 ball, 2 strikes. Three-stride lead at first base by Hovden, or by Nimrod. 1-2 to Hovden. Taken up, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Jake trying to reach base for the 3rd time in 2 frames, just like Nimrod did a moment ago. 2-2 delivery. That one barely missed. It's 3 balls, 2 strikes. Full count as the last one missed on the inside corner. 3-2 the count. Clemenson comes set. And the 3-2 delivery swung on, driven towards left field. A late break from Snook. It'll land in front of him for a base hit. Nimrod puts the brakes on at second. First and second with nobody out here in the 2nd inning for Decorah. And Brett LaRue will stand in.
Now batting Brett LaRue.
13-1 Decorah here in the bottom of the 2nd. LaRue lined out to center in the first. Knocked in a run with a single to left and scored as well in the first. LaRue squaring to bunt, takes the pitch low. It gets by Reganold, the catcher. Nimrod to third and Hovden to second. So LaRue will bat with 2 runners in scoring position. A 1-0 count on LaRue. Infield up at the corners and back up the middle. Clemenson to the pause and the 1-0 well outside. Reganold lunged outside to grab that one. And it's 2 balls and no strikes. Nimrod at third and Hovden at second. The 2-0 low. Reganold getting the chest protector in front of the 55-foot curveball. Now 3 balls, no strikes the count on LaRue. (3-0). Brett takes all the way and takes outside for ball 4. The 9th free pass given by East pitchers to this point. Jake Marlowe has batted twice. He does not have an official at bat though. A hit by a pitch and a run scored in the first. A walk and a run scored in the first inning as well. Marlowe stands from the right-hand side of the plate. He will look at the first one inside. 1 ball, no strikes. 13-1 Decorah here in the 2nd. Decorah already at their top run total in a single game this year. And the pitch inside, it hit Marlowe. And they kept it. They're going to keep Jake in the box, saying he didn't have any intention to move out of the way. Well, when the ball hits him in the arm, To me, that's a silly interpretation of the rule. If the ball goes into the batter's box, that's where the batter should be. But silly to argue it at this point. But pitch goes outside. It's 3 balls and no strikes. (3-0). Curve outside edge for a strike. It's 3-1. Bases loaded. Nobody out here in inning number 2. A 13-1 lead for Decorah. 3-1 delivery. Taken at the letters for a strike. That's will make it 3-2. 3-2 on Jake Marlowe. Infield up at all 4 spots. 3-2 from Clemenson, well high for ball 4. Bases loaded, walk to Marlowe. Will score Nimrod, send Hovden to third, and LaRue down to second. Decorah has sent 22 batters to the plate. 10 have walked, and 1 has been hit by a pitch. Austin Bohr will stand in. He'll take a curve that catches the front knee for a strike, 0-1. Bohr walked and scored in the first, singled, knocked in a run, scored again in the first inning. Infield up at all 4 spots, nobody out here in the second inning of a 14-1 lead for Decorah. As Bohr smacks one into center field, it'll land for a base hit. Hovden will score. LaRue coming to the plate. He will score without a play. A 2-run single for Austin Bohr, and a 16-1 lead for Decorah.
Stepping up, Gabe Varney.
Marlowe stopping at second. A 3 spot here in inning number 2 for Decorah. And the left-hand hitting Gabe Varney will be the batter. Bases loaded, walk, run scored in the first, RBI single, another run scored in the first. Curveball outside edge for a strike, 0-1. 16-1 Decorah here in the second inning. The 0-1 delivery is low. It got by the catcher Reganold. Marlowe to third, Bohr to second. Still nobody out here in the second inning. Varney trying to reach base for the 3rd time already. 7 hits for Decorah here in 2 innings as Varney ahead of a breaking ball swinging and missing, and it's 1 ball, 2 strikes. One and 2 the count. Off a third Marlowe, off a second Bohr. Clemenson comes set. 1-2 delivery to Varney, sails outside for 2 balls and 2 strikes. Two-two. Sprayed foul, third base side. And that one will land over Goose Island Drive. So still it's 2 balls, 2 strikes. Coach O doing what he's doing despite the scores, still coaching like it's a 3-2 ball game. 2-2 delivery, sails outside for 3 balls and 2 strikes. Because in a game like this, potential to develop some bad habits definitely there. If you're not working to get better every at-bat, you probably shouldn't be out there. 3-2 delivery to Varney, low. It skips by Reganold. Marlowe will score. Bohr to third. Varney to first on the base on balls. It's now 17-1 Decorah. And Caleb Qualley will bat with runners at the corner. Still nobody out. Qualley drew 2 walks in the first inning, and one of them came with the bases loaded. 17-1 Decorah here in the second. Curveball in there for a strike, 0-1. Decorah trying to win its 7th game of the season. 0-1 delivery, swung on, smack towards center, and a base hit. 4 will score. Varney will stop at second. Qualley with his second RBI as the ball was bobbled out in center field. Varney will take third base. And Qualley will get an RBI single. A 5-run inning here in the second for Decorah, and an 18-1 lead for the Vikings as Trevor Phillips will be the batter. Walked with bases loaded and scored in the first, reached on an error in the first inning as well. Pitch goes low, 1 ball, no strikes. This is already the 26th batter for Decorah. And we are only in the bottom of the second with nobody out. Pitch to Phillips well high, 2 balls, no strikes. In case you're wondering, you do have to play 4 for the 15-run rule. Clemenson ready, 2-0 offering. In there for a strike, it's 2-1 now. Andy Sinkink in the on-deck circle. Vikes have gotten a lot of help from East pitching, but 8 hits in 2 innings. You can't say anything negative about that as the next pitch goes outside. 3 balls, 1 strike. When they are getting strikes, they are attacking them, and sometimes when pitchers are having a tough time finding the zone, that's a difficult thing to do. 3-1 to Phillips, smacked towards short, fielded on the ground. At short, they get 1 out, and they get the double play. A 6-4-3 with Varney staying at third. And there's 2 down here in the second inning. Varney stayed at third base on the play, and really no reason to send him in that situation, and Sinkink will be the batter.
Now batting Andy Sinkink.
Base umpire calling Phillips out. I think in a 3-2 game he would have been safe. 18-1 Decorah here in the bottom of the second inning. Clemenson will work out of the windup or now he's going back to the stretch with Sinkink batting. Andy is 0 for 2 on RBI ground out in the first, and he struck out looking in the first as well. Pitch out of the zone, 1 ball, no strikes. 18, 8, and 0 for Decorah. 1, 2, and 3 for East. Pitch goes up. 2 balls, no strikes to count. Vikes batted around twice in the first. And looking to do so again here in the second. The pitch high, 3 balls, no strikes. From Clemenson. 18-1 Decorah. We are in the bottom of the second inning, 2 down and a runner at third. Andy taking all the way, takes a strike. It's 3 balls and 1 strike now. (3-1) well high from Clemenson, ball 4. So Sinkink draws the walk. And Joe Kanoki will now bat for Colin Nimrod.
Pitch hitting, number 2.
Nimrod was 0 for 1, but reached base 3 times, scored 3 times, walked twice, and stole 2 bases. Kanoki in from the left-hand side of the plate with runners at the corners and 2 down. 18-1 Decorah here in the second. As the pitch goes outside, it is 1 ball, no strikes. Two outs in the inning. Pitch outside again. It's 2 balls and no strikes on Kanoki. (2-0) high. 3 balls and no strikes to count. Clemenson ready, and the 3-0 offering to Kanoki is taken outside for ball 4. So another walk given up by East pitching. And Andrew Bonelli will bat for Jake Hovden.
Pinch hitting 19, Andrew Bonelli.
Hovden was 3 for 3 with an RBI and 3 runs scored. 18-1 Decorah here in the second. Bonelli looks at a strike, 0-1. Decorah hitters have drawn 13 walks in 28 plate appearances tonight. Pitch low to Bonelli. It's 1 ball, 1 strike. Tyler Dostal is in the on-deck circle should he get a turn. Bases loaded, 2 down. 1-1 delivery well high. Reganold getting a workout behind home plate. He had to sneak behind Bonelli to catch that ball. 2 balls, 1 strike, the count on Bonelli. 2-1 delivery inside, and it's 3 balls and 1 strike. Pitch swung on and missed at a curveball. 3-2 now on Bonelli, so everyone will be moving. 3 balls, 2 strikes. 18-1 Decorah. In the bottom of the second inning. 13 in the first and 5 in the second for the Vikings. Runner is going to go, and the pitch to Bonelli is inside for ball 4. So Bonelli draws a bases loaded walk to send Varney home. Sinking to third and Kanoki to second. 19-1 Decorah. And Tyler Dostal now will bat for LaRue. And Waterloo East will make another pitching change. 19-1 Decorah here in the second. We'll tell you about the new pitcher here in a moment. Brandon Secor, a sophomore left-hander, now on the hill for Waterloo East.
Number 13, Brandon Secor.
Clemenson throws 2/3 of an inning. Gives up 4 hits, walks 6, 5 runs. All of these runs have been earned. And he had no strikeouts. Tyler Dostal will bat for Brett LaRue. Vikings scored 13 in the first inning, 6 in the second inning. And Dostal will look to keep it going. Dostal from the right-hand side of the plate, sinking third. As Dostal hits a ground ball toward short, charging there is Magnuson. He'll throw on to first base to retire Dostal in the side here in the second inning. So Decorah scores 6 more on 3 hits, 1 Waterloo East error, and 3 runners left. 2 innings done. It's 19-1 Decorah. Top of the third inning we go. It's a 19-1 lead for Decorah. 19 runs on 8 hits for Decorah, 1 run on 2 hits for Waterloo East. 3 errors in the game, 4 errors in the game, all credited to the Trojans. Marquez Gaffney is pinch hitting for John Magnuson. He'll swing at the first one, foul, 1 straight back. Caleb Qualley is back near the fence, couldn't quite get there, and it snowballs in 1 strike.
At the plate, 11, Marquez Gaffney.
Gaffney batting for Magnuson, who had a leadoff single off the fence in the first inning and scored Waterloo East's only run. 19-1 Decorah here in the third. And the pitch swung on and missed at a curveball from Phillips. It snowballs and 2 strikes. Trevor's given up 2 hits, walked 1, and struck out 3 to this point. Curveball low outside from Phillips. 1 ball and 2 strikes. 31 pitches for Trevor Phillips thus far. A few more than that from East pitching. 1-2 from Phillips. Fastball, strike 3 called, outside edge. And Phillips gets his 4th strikeout. Another pinch hitter coming up for Waterloo East.
Pinch hitting number 5, Tyler Lowe.
And this will be Tyler Lowe. First pitch is a curveball low. 1 ball, no strikes. Phillips has a lot of base runner in each of the 2 frames thus far and hasn't allowed the long offensive innings to affect his sharpness too much. The pitch goes high. 2 balls and no strikes to count. That's not the easiest thing to do, knowing the fact that your team is batting forever, and sometimes it's tough to keep that arm warm as the pitch goes outside, outside corner for a strike. It's 2 balls, 1 strike to count. 2-1 in the pitch. Ground ball to the right side, picked up there by Sinkink. He'll throw on to first base to retire Low. 2 down here in the 3rd inning. And I think another pinch hitter coming up for Waterloo East here. And this will be Ryan Johnson.
Pinch hitting for East, 18, Ryan Johnson.
It's not Ryan, it's Ryan, like the Cub Hall of Famer. R-Y-N-E. I could say Phillies manager. It's more fun to say Cub Hall of Famer. Pitch inside from Phillips. 1 ball, no strikes. 19-1 Decorah as we play the top half of the 3rd inning. We'll have softball on after this one. The pitch swung on and missed. And it's 1 ball, 1 strike to count. 1-1, swung on, ground ball towards third, fielded right on the bag by LaRue. He'll throw on to first base, but the throw is wild and gets by Marlowe. Johnson will move to second base. First base, and this time of day a little tough, especially from that angle. Not to give Jake an excuse, but it ends up being an E5. Runner at second, 2 down for Cole Van Weg. Or that's at least who's due here, and I think that is who is going to bat.
Next up, Cole Van Way.
Van Way had an RBI single back in the 1st inning. Van Way skies one to right center field and shallow. And it's going to land between Sinkink and Bohr. Moving up to third on the play is Johnson. It was an I got it, you get it situation. Sinkink yielded to Bohr, who was yielding to Sinkink. And that's the type of stuff that you just can't do. Again, it's 19-1. And you can't take anything for granted. You still got to play the game of baseball the right way, no matter what the score is. And that's the type of mistakes you just can't let happen. And this is Brandon Secor batting for the first time. He came in relief of Landon Clemenson. Secor, a left-hand hitter, swings and misses at the first one. No balls and 1 strike. So the Decorah defense has let down Phillips a couple of times here in the 3rd. Trevor trying to get out of the frame as the pitch goes outside. 1 ball and 1 strike to count. One and one the count on Secor. 1-1 delivery swung on and missed. Good change of pace from Phillips. And it's 1 ball, 2 strikes down. One and 2 the count. 1-2 delivery sails outside for 2 balls, 2 strikes now. Deuces Wild in the pitch. Inside corner for strike 3. Secor down on strikes. 5th strikeout for Phillips. And that's that for the 3rd inning. 1 hit, 1 error, and 2 lefts. Bottom of the 3rd we go. It's 19-1 Decorah.
Middle of the 3rd inning, I look at Decorah's schedule.
Multiple changes coming in for Waterloo East here. Gaffney will now play shortstop. Lowe will be in left field. Blaine Johnson will now be in right field, and Secor will still be the pitcher. I'd imagine some new players will come in for Decorah as well, as this could potentially be their last at-bat of the game. It's taken a while tonight. We're only in the bottom of the 3rd inning.
It's going to last as long as 7 innings.
It's a 19-1 lead for Decorah. John Will Jenkins will bat to start things here in the bottom of the 3rd. Vikes sent 18 to the plate and scored 13 in the 1st inning, and scored 6 more, sending 12 to the plate in the 2nd inning. A momentary delay as Connor Doyle makes his way down towards first base. Connor helping out with baseball this summer. He's decided to become a barrister, heading to law school in the fall. John Will Jenkins, the left-hand hitter against the left-hander Secor. He'll take the first pitch low. 1 ball and no strikes. Jenkins batting for Marlowe, who is 0 for 0. Walked twice, hit by a pitch twice, scored 3 runs, and had an RBI. Next pitch outside is 2 balls and no strikes. I think this might be Jenkins' first at-bat. Correction, it's his 3rd. He's 0 for 2 with a strikeout. Fastball outside edge for a strike. It's 2 balls, 1 strike on John Will Jenkins. Again, we'll have softball after this one tonight. Decorah taking on the league leaders, Waverly Shellrock, down the way. As the pitch goes low, it's 3 balls, 1 strike now. In the on-deck circle is Cyrek Nelson. And the 3-1 ground ball towards short. Gaffney will field on multiple hops. He knocks it down. He throws to first base, and the throw is late. The bobble will be the error, and that'll be the 5th of the night for Waterloo East. Cyrek Nelson will stand in.
Now, pinch hitting 20.
Nelson will bat for Boer. Cyrek bats from the right-hand side of the plate, and a 19-1 Decorah lead here in the 3rd. Decorah has to play at least 1 more defensive inning to call this one official. Pitch in low, 1 ball, no strikes. That was a rule they put in about 3-4 years ago. You used to have to play 5 no matter what. 1-0, a little low, 2 balls, no strikes the count. In all honesty, yes, you take advantage of every opportunity you get in the game of baseball, but a game like this doesn't do a heck of a lot of good for a heck of a lot of people. Pitch inside, 3 balls, no strikes the count on Nelson. It appears that Cole Minks will bat for Varney next. Runner at first, nobody out. 19-1 Waterloo East. 3-0 delivery, a strike to Nelson, and it's 3-1. Nelson, a right-hand hitter against the left-hander Secor. 3-1 delivery, low for ball 4. Last time we had a 4-inning game, we had a bunch of topics to discuss. A tie in the spelling bee, the Bachelor and his chosen one broken up. Hoiberg was still coach of the Cyclones. Now Steve Prohl is the guy.
Pitch hitting Cole Minks.
Cole Minks will bat for Varney. Varney was batting for him in the DH left fielder relationship. The pitch inside to Minks, 1 ball, no strikes. See Coach Garrett Ramsey for Waterloo East standing down in the bullpen right now. 1-0 delivery. Up again. It's 2 balls, no strikes on Minks. Nobody's in the on-deck circle right now for Decorah. A pause and a 2-0 at the letters and for a strike. It's 2-1 now on Minks. Curveball low. Three balls, 1 strike to count. John Will Jenkins out at second and Cyric Nelson at first. Pitch at the letters for a strike. Minks was about ready to toss the bat away. And the home plate umpire said, "Not so fast, young man." 3-2 the count and the pitch low for ball 4. An error and 2 walks have loaded the bases with nobody out here in the third. And the batter will be Cam Korsnes. Korsnes was the courtesy runner for Qualley earlier, and now he will bat. He's been really splitting time with Sinkic at second base, and the pitch in there for a strike, 0-1. Decorah scored 13 in the first, 6 in the second, and Korsnes swings and fouls one at the plate, and it's 0-2. We're in the bottom of the third inning. Decorah leading 19-1, so if the score stays the same, East would have to score at least 4 in the top of the fourth to keep the game going. Secor throws low. 1 ball, 2 strikes. East already playing their 5th game of the week, their 3rd road trip. They went to Dubuque on Monday and went to Marshalltown last night. 1-2, swing and a miss at a curve, and there's 1 down here in the 3rd inning. I know it's a point that Coach Olenczak has brought up over the years, and how you would really make it work is beyond me, but he would like to start baseball about the 1st of May and end it about the 4th of July and play your conference schedule in June. With the compact schedule of Iowa high school baseball, A, you run out of arms in a situation like this, and B, 1-0, pitch goes low, 2 balls, no strikes. And B, you barely have any time to practice. So, 2 balls, no strikes, the count. 2-0. Pitch taken low. It's 3 balls, no strikes now on Phillips. Bases loaded, 1 down. Here in the bottom of the third of a 19-1 lead for Decorah as Phillips takes one outside. He draws his 2nd bases loaded walk of the night. And it's 20-1 Decorah. That one will be an unearned run as Jenkins reached on an error.
And
Sinkink will be the batter. Grounded to short to not get a run in the first, struck out looking in the first and walked in the second, up again here in the third. And the pitch swung on and missed. No balls, 1 strike to count to Andy Sinkink. So now Waterloo East needs to score at least 5 in the top of the 4th. Pitch low. It is 1 ball, 1 strike. One and 1 with 1 down. The pitch, Sinkink pops 1 foul, right side. Out of play. That one hits the roof. I suppose we can tell you that yesterday's high of 93 degrees in Decorah was the warmest temperature in nearly 21 months. The last time Decorah had a 93-degree temperature was, surprisingly, in September of 2013, September the 10th. As Sinkink hammers one to center field and a base hit. Nelson will score. Minks coming to the plate. He will score. It's 22-1 Decorah. So Sinkink now with 3 RBI here in game number 1. Phillips stopped at second base on the play. And Colin Nimrod will bat now. Nimrod walked in the first and scored, reached on an error in the first and scored, walked again in the second and scored.
Colin Nimrod.
He will be the 7th batter of this frame. He'll look at the first pitch low, 1 ball, no strikes. One 0. Curve ball outside edge for a strike, and it's 1-1. A ball and a strike the count. Phillips away from second and Sinkink away from first. The pause and the delivery. It goes low, 2 balls and 1 strike. So looking at the in-game box score, Nimrod officially 0 for 1, but has scored 3 times and walked twice. Hovden 3 for 3, 3 runs scored and an RBI. LaRue 2 for 3 with an RBI and 2 runs scored and a walk. Or 1 for 2 and a walk as Secor steps off. Marlowe 0 for 0, 2 walks, 1 hit batter and an RBI. He also has scored 3 runs. 22-1 Decorah as the pitch goes high. It's 3-1 now on Nimrod. Austin Bohr 2 for 2 with 3 RBI, 3 runs scored and a walk. Gabe Varney 1 for 1, 2 walks, 3 runs scored, 2 RBI. Caleb Qualley 1 for 1, 2 walks, 2 RBI. Trevor Phillips officially 0 for 2, but 2 walks and 2 RBI. 3 balls, 1 strike to Nimrod high and outside for ball 4. And Andy Sinkink now 1 for 3 with a walk and 3 RBI. Jake Hovden will be the batter. This is Vikings Radio 1240 KDEC Decorah and KDECradio.com. Darren Swenson from Olensack Field here in Decorah. Decorah leading 22-1 here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. As Hovden looks at a strike, 0-1. We'll have softball after this one. As Decorah will take on the league leaders, Waverly Shellrock. 0-1 delivery. Nimrod smacks one towards third. It's picked up there by the 3rd baseman, Jones. And he'll throw to the plate to force Phillips for the 2nd out of the inning. Sinkink moving to 3rd. Nimrod to 2nd, Hovden to 1st, and Brett LaRue will be the 9th batter here in the 3rd inning. Decorah leading 22-1. The pitch swung on and missed at a curve, 0-1. LaRue lined to center in the 1st, singled and scored and knocked in a run in the 1st, walked in the 2nd, and those were his at-bats. He was hit for by Dostal last time he grounded out. Pitch a strike, it's 0-2. Well, Ben Bishop is out for the Tampa Bay Lightning tonight, if that's a subject that anybody cares about. I know there's not too many hockey heads around here.
Well, I heard the bachelor was at the Ladies Football Academy at Iowa.
The pitch goes low, 1 ball, 2 strikes. The 1-2 delivery swung on, hit well, deep left center field, and that one is going to be 2 hops and against the fence. It'll get Sinkink and Nimrod home. Hovden coming to the plate. He will score without a play. A bases clearing double for Brett LaRue and a 25-1 lead for Decorah. So LaRue now with 4 RBI on the night.
Jake Marlowe.
And Jake Marlowe will bat for the 4th time in 3 frames, and he was hit for once. As Marlowe hits a ground ball towards short, and Gaffney, he'll pick it up, he'll throw across the diamond, and the throw goes wild. LaRue will score, Marlowe to 2nd, 26-1 Decorah. So Marlowe reaches for the 2nd time on an error. And Austin Bohr will be the batter. Bohr It was hit for by Nelson, who walked and scored earlier this frame. Swings the first one and fouls one third base side. No balls and one strike. Bohr with 3 RBI on the night. A throw back to second base, and the ball wasn't put in play anyway, so even if it would have been an out, it wouldn't have counted. The 0-1 delivery that hits Bohr as he tried to spin out of the way, unsuccessful in his attempt, so Bohr will reach base for the 4th time. And Cole Minks.
Now batting Cole Minks. Hometown.
Will be the batter. Minks walked and scored in his first at-bat for Varney. Earlier this frame, Varney batted the first 3 times. He was the DH hitting for Minks. Secor throws low. It's 2 balls, no strikes to count. Decorah has scored 7 here in the 3rd after a 13-run first, a 6-run second, and a 7-run 3rd. Minks hits ground ball towards short and Gaffney. He'll throw the short way to second base, and that's that for the 3rd inning. The Vikes add another 7, and we'll look to close it out next. They lead at 26-1. Decorah 26, Waterloo East 1. So Waterloo East now would have to score 11 runs in this frame to keep this game going. Josh Reganold will lead things off against Phillips, who's given up 3 hits, 1 run. Believe it or not, Waterloo East scored the first run in this game, but after that it's been all Vikings. Pitch outside. 1 ball, no strikes. Next pitch swung on and missed from Phillips. Trying to pick up his 2nd win of the year. It is 1 ball, 1 strike to count. Fastball outside edge for a strike. It's now 1-2. One-two. Hit foul, and that was near the Decorah dugout. Sent some players scattering, but it hit the fencing in front of the dugout. So it's 1 ball, 2 strikes yet on Reganold. 1-2 pitch at the letters, taken for strike 3. Phillips gets his 6th strikeout. And there's 1 down here in the 4th inning. So the Vikes 2 outs away from victory here. And the batter will be a new batter in for Waterloo West. And it's Hunter Evan. Or is it Even? He's definitely not odd. We know that. He takes the first pitch out of the zone and he hammers one down the left field line, but foul. And it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Evan, Even, tomato, tomato. Elliott said even, so I'm going to go with even. The pitch just missed the inside edge. 2 balls, 1 strike to count. JV game is done, so we won't have a lot of time to get down to softball. Pitch swung on and fouled back. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And the pitch swung on and fouled at the plate as Qualley couldn't quite hold the foul tip. Two balls, 2 strikes, the count. 26-1 Decorah. Here in the bottom of the 3rd. The pitch swung on and missed as Phillips strikes out Even. There's 2 down here in the 4th inning. And Waterloo West will send up, it is due to be Nate Card, but I think it's going to be somebody else. It is actually Nate Card. And Card will pop one up third base side. LaRue sneaks over, but it lands directly behind the Decorah third base dugout. No balls and 1 strike. So Phillips looking for his 2nd win on the mound this year. And we can officially start. Tom Hodek has entered the building. The pitch swung on, smacked up the middle and through for a base hit. So Card with a 2-out single here in the 4th inning for Waterloo East. And batting for the first time will be Snook for Waterloo East. Snook came in the bottom of the 2nd inning as part of the pitching change. As the first pitch goes high, it's 1 ball, no strikes to Snook. Phillips ready, 1-0. Swung on and missed. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. Decorah up 26-1. We're in the top of the 4th inning. Vikes trying to close it out here. Takes a while when you score that many runs and there's that many walks. We're approaching an hour 45 for this game. Pitch low, 2 balls, 1 strike to count. And they're going to call a balk on Trevor Phillips. That's something Trevor's got to work on. He's got a tendency to quick pitch a lot of guys, which means he comes to a quick set out of the stretch and does not give a 1-second pause. I personally think he comes dangerously close to doing it a lot. Here's ground ball to the right side, picked up there by Sinkink. He will throw on to first base, and that's a Viking victory. The Vikes take care of business in 4 innings tonight by a count of 26-1. 26 runs, 10 hits, 1 error, and 8 left for Decorah. 1 run, 4 hits, 5 errors, and 5 left for Waterloo East. Trevor Phillips, the winning pitcher, he is now 2-1. The losing pitcher is Chase Pryor. So Decorah goes to 7-6 overall, and Waterloo East drops to 2-13. We'll have softball here in a few minutes on Vikings Radio 1240 KDEC and at KDECradio.com.